Sean, how much have you enjoyed your time here at Surrey?
I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's, I said to the lads after the last game the other day at Lord's that it's probably been one of the more enjoyable periods of my career so far. Great change room to be in, and there's lots of wonderful people here at the club, so a really enjoyable few months.
How much have you enjoyed bowling here with the red ball? You've taken a lot of wickets. How good has that been?
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little bit like home in terms of the conditions, but obviously a world-class ground and facility. And yeah, it's something I'd really look forward to doing before getting over here. And yeah, like I said, it's been a really enjoyable few months, and just a great change room to be a part of, and a great group of lads to play cricket with.
And just on bowling here at the Oval, compared to some of the other grounds around the country, what's different? How do you have to change your skill set?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more pace and carrying the wicket here. I thought it's been a pretty good cricket wicket all year, to be honest. I mean, we've typically gone in with 5 frontline quicks, with Jaxie being, the spare spinner. And I thought, for the majority of all 4 days of all of our games, despite maybe some challenges with the kookaburra ball when we experimented with that, I thought they've been good cricket wickets all season, which is, all you can ask for as a quick and certainly as a cricketing team.
Not just with the ball, you've had some really important performances with the bat, and it looks like you've had a lot of fun out there.
It has been. I mean, as I said, it's a great change room to be a part of. Very easygoing, very relaxed. Even when there's high pressure moments in fixtures, the guys seem to have this ability to stay calm and have trust in the guy next to them to go out and get the job done. And yeah, it's been really enjoyable to go out there. I've batted with the tail quite a bit this year, and we've all watched Daniel Worrell go out there and bat. So been lucky enough to spend some time at the crease with him. So yeah, it's been really enjoyable. Like I said, it's been a good cricket wicket all year, but at the same time, there are some rewards there with the bat if you get yourself in and work hard.
And there was no better example of that than here against Kent. What are your memories 6 weeks on of that 100?
I mean, one of the things that sticks out was, me and Jordan Clark obviously got together for a few overs there and put a bit of a partnership on, and we kept trying to talk to each other in the middle about how we're going to go about it. He goes, man, I just think we need to, keep batting it really. Like, we've got some good batters in the sheds. Let's just keep getting after it. I actually thought that he batted pretty well that night as well. It was just nice for balls to go in the gaps and things go my way that night, and put on a show here on my first game on a Friday night for Surrey.
Has it sunk in? Because I think we saw you after that game and you were just pretty blown away by it all. Has it sunk in now and you've realised what a special performance that was?
I don't think it really has sunk in, to be honest. I mean, we've seen a few hundred since then, and guys batting unbelievably well, and 40 or 50 balls. I'm just like, did I actually do that off that many balls? Did I actually get the chance to go out and bat 6 and then score some runs? At the time I was just happy to bat for a 50, get off strike and raise the bat for 50, and then continue slogging away. So it's definitely not sunk in. I was just, it took a while after the game when, I sat down with a drink and, I just, was a bit lost there for a while. I didn't really know how to take it, but, it's something I'm going to remember for a long time. Kept my shirt, kept my bat. I'm not going to give away that bat anytime soon. So, yeah, hopefully it sinks in sometime soon.
And that moment when you reached the 100, we saw that clip of you and the raw emotion. What is going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, to be honest, I sort of felt like, when I hit the 6th, the ball before, I just sort of felt like, oh my God, is this happening? As I'm 94 not out or whatever it was, and got the opportunity to score 100 in a T20, which is something that I just never thought I'd be able to do. Like, I play a roll back home a little bit further down the order, and the job's always been, try and score as many runs as you can off 3, 4, 5 balls. And here I am, at the Kia Oval, with the chance to bring up 100 and batting with a good mate down the other end. And as professional cricketers, we all work our backsides off to do really well out there and perform the way we want to perform and put on a show. And then, yeah, as I said, to be there 94 not out, with a chance to bring it up with a 6, it's just something I'll never forget.
Oh, it's down the ground. Has he got the legs? It has. He's done it. Oh, wow, that's absolutely awesome. Sean Abbott. Oh, yes.
4 fours and 11 sixes.
The competition obviously ended in disappointment with that defeat in the semi-final. How do you reflect on the T20 campaign?
Yeah, I mean, we got out of the blocks pretty hot, but if I was to reflect on it, I think it was a little bit of a frustrating season. That can be brought on a little bit by looking at how good our list is, and I just sort of thought we limped home a little bit into the quarter and then the semi, but we played some really good cricket at the most important time of the season, which is the most important part of tournament cricket, I think. So we got ourselves into the semi, and we just didn't play well enough in that semi. But in saying that, there's plenty to look forward to for next season. I think we didn't come close to playing our best cricket at all throughout the tournament. I don't think we came close to putting a full game together throughout the tournament. And for a lot of the start of the tournament, we dominated. We sort of struggled to get things right through the middle and the back end. But at the same time, we still made the quarterfinals. We still made the semi, and still looked really good in those games. But plenty to improve on next year, and plenty to take out of this season. And something that I'm really looking forward to is taking on the Blast next season with this team.
You bonded really well with the lads, that was really clear. Can you give us an insight into the dressing room at Surrey? What's the vibe like around the team?
Man, I feel like I gotta wear a nappy sometimes. The boys have me in stitches, I feel like I'm gonna wet myself. But they just seem to have this this ability to have a really relaxed vibe around the change room and still have a laugh when the team is absolutely under the pump in the middle of a 4-day game or even in a Blast fixture. So that's something that I'm really grateful to have been a part of for the last few months, and that's something hopefully that I can take home to my teams back home. And it's not just one or two blokes, it's across the whole board, everyone in the starting 11, in first 11, the guys who've been playing twos, and even the guys that, it's obviously a really good team on paper. There's been a lot of guys that have been on the fringes, haven't really got the opportunities that they probably feel like they could have had. They probably feel like they could play and still do really well. Hats off to them. I think they've got a really good vibe in the change room.
You mentioned Jordan being out here for your 100. A couple of weeks ago, you were here for his first 100 at the Kia Oval as well. Again, how nice was that for you to be on the other end watching somebody deliver and perform in a Surrey shirt?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan's one of those guys who is a wholehearted cricketer, and he's someone that I've really watched closely this season, and I've taken a lot out of his game, and we'll try and implement in the way I go about cricket a little bit. Days 3 and 4 and those sessions where you're really tired and sore as a bowler, he just seems to, the way I'm going to get through this is just charge in harder for the team and get the job done. He's not really a guy that's about personal milestones. I had to really encourage him to get the ball up in the air in Canterbury when he got his first 5 for the season after bowling really well again. But he just keeps turning up day in and day out and putting his best foot forward. And to be out there with him to score when he scored his 100, I was obviously over the moon for him. He stepped up. When we'd lost a few wickets early on a tough wicket, and made sure we got to take advantage of a tired bowling lineup with a few injuries. So that was one of many times where he stood up for us this season, and there's still plenty of opportunities left for him to do that. But to return favour after he did that was out there for me earlier on in the season. That's something I'll look back on and be pretty proud of, that I was out there with him.
There's 3 county championship matches left for Surrey. Obviously, we would love you to be out there, but you're not going to be there. How are you going to be keeping up to date with the team?
I was actually watching yesterday on the lounge while the little one was having a sleep, and even though George can't look at his phone, I was like, mate, in swinger, out swinger, get it in there, But I'll just be supporting the lads. It's obviously been a long season so far. You guys play so much cricket, packed schedule. There's obviously a little bit of a break now with the 1-day stuff, and then 3 huge games for us at the back end of the season. So there's a few teams starting to bunch up at the top of the ladder, chasing us, the defending champions from last year. So probably just the lads are good enough, just to let them go about their business and get the job done. So I don't think they'll need too much from me in those last 3 games. But I will be watching.
You've clearly formed a really strong bond with the Surrey fans and the Surrey members. Even just walking around the ground today, lots of people coming up to you and saying thank you for your contributions. How important is it to have that bond with the supporters?
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel like you're at home and you feel supported, which I don't think will ever be a problem here at the Oval. I think they're a very engaged crowd, and whenever you get the chance to be close to them or bond with them, they're always very welcoming and want to stop and have a chat. So that's another reason why I've really loved being here the last few months is, the fans and the crowd and the members here have been really welcoming of me as an overseas player. And have sort of not made me feel like an overseas player, they've just made me feel like another member of the group and another member of, such a great club.
Last question, I think the question that all Surrey supporters are going to be wanting to know the answer to: will we be seeing you back next summer?
Absolutely, I'd love to come back next summer. It sort of feels like home at the moment. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, I'll be back. I'd love to come back.